Yo, what up, GMS? Mr. Freedom here with some homework help for you guys. So this is Tuesday's homework. It says the bar model shows a ratio of daisies to roses in the garden. Write the ratio of daisies to roses 3 ways. So how many daisies do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, right? So we got 1, 2, 3. And how many roses do we have? Oh, we got 1, right? There's only 1 bar there. So if we're doing a ratio, we have for every 1 rose, we have 3, right? So it's asking us to write it 3 different ways. So if it's daisies to rosies, daisies, not rosies, to roses, like daisies over roses. And that's the way it wanted to be written, right? Write the ratio daisies to roses. That means daisies are on top, roses are on the bottom. And that's just like this, right? There's 3 daisies and whoa, not 2. That was my mistake. There's only 1 rose, right? Look at that. So there should be 1 right here. So for every 3 roses, geez, I can't say it more. For every 3 daisies, there's 1 rose, right? And another way of writing it is 3, 2, 1, right? And the last way to write it is 3. Actually, I'm not even going to do it. But use your colon, and that's how you would write the last way of writing it. So that's the 3 ways to write that ratio. Pretty quick and easy, right? All right, so let me get rid of this. Now we're back to this one. Plot the point. Trying to zoom in a little bit. Plot the following points. So you have A, so we're gonna go over to the right 1 and up 9, right? Oh, I'm trying to put a little period. So we would go like around here somewhere, right? And when you're labeling this, you also want to write what it was. So if this was A, we're gonna label it A right here, right? And you're gonna label your other one as well. I'll let you guys do that. Remember, this first one, you go to the right. The next one, I'm sorry. This X, this first coordinate, you're gonna go either left or right. If it's positive, you're going right. If it's negative, you go left. And then the second item, you're gonna go up or down, right? And since they're both positives, and these are all positives, you're gonna go to the right and then up. All right, that's number 7. The next question says, at camp, there are 12 campers and 2 counselors in each cabin. What is the ratio of campers to total people in the cabin? So look, these guys are all camping out, right? So there's 12 of them. And there's 2 counselors for each cabin. What is the ratio of campers to total people in the cabin? So the ratio it's asking us for is campers to total people, right? So when you have that split up, let's write this down. So how many campers are there? Well, there's 12 campers, right? And how many total campers are, or total people are there? It'd be the 12 plus the 2 counselors, right? Which is 14. So what is the ratio of campers to, oh, that's an ugly line right there. Sorry, guys. Of campers to total people is 12 to 14. Now you can simplify this to get a better answer. So that's what you're going to have to do. Simplify this. You can divide, they're both even numbers, so you can definitely divide them by 2, right? And then see where you go from there. All right. Do with cookies, which are my favorite cookies. If you guys ever want to bring me some chocolate chip cookies, you know, I got no problems with that. So it says Grocery Mart has cookies on sale for $3.84 for 12 cookies, right? So for every $3.84, you get how many cookies? Well, it says 12. So that's how I would set this up, right? For $3.84, I get 12 cookies. Now the other ratio, it says Food Shop has cookies on sale for $5.70 for 19 cookies. So we're gonna say $5.70, and how many cookies was it? Well, it was just 19 cookies, right? So all I did is really just wrote out my information. Now, the best way to figure out how much each cookie costs, because this is price over cookies, right? This bottom unit is cookies. So what I'm going to have to do is take this top number and divide it by 12. Because remember, the whole point is to try to get this to equal 1, right? Your bottom number, which is cookies. Let me move my cookies out of here. But I'm trying to turn that into 1. So if I turn this into 1, that means I'm going to do 12 divided by 12. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to also divide by 12. And then I'll have my answer, right? So I know this is going to be my price per cookie. And that's what we're trying to figure out, what the price is per cookie. So 384.12. Look what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to cheat. And this is an, oh, that didn't work. Not my calendar. I was trying to get my calculator. There we go. Oh, my calculator is huge. Oh, here we go. So I have 384. Oh, you guys can't see it. One sec, guys. Try that again. Sorry, guys. I don't really use calculators on here very often, but I'm going to take 3.84 and divide it by 12. And then I get this number, 32. And what is it? If I'm talking money, it's $0.32 what? Cents, right? So that's my first unit rate. So what this means is I'm paying basically 32 cents, right? Because basically I'm talking about money right here, per one cookie when I buy it from Grocery Mart. This is Grocery Mart. So you can do the same thing. You're going to basically divide 570 by 19 and you'll have another rate. And you're going to say which one's a better rate, which one, you know, who has a better deal. And then you can go on and explain it for number 9. So I did half of it for you. You guys have to do the other half. Good luck. My last question for Tuesday says fill in the missing value in the table. So for every 3 boys, there's 6 girls. So how do I go from 6 to 12? What am I multiplying, dividing? Well, the number's going bigger, so I'm going to be multiplying, right? So 6 times 2 equals 12, right? So if I multiply the bottom by 2, I need to multiply the top. So whatever 3 times 2 is going to be my answer up here. And that's it for this week, guys, or for Tuesday, I'm sorry. All right, we're moving on to Wednesday. Number 11, it says fill in the missing term in the pair of equivalent ratios. So if you're writing this as a fraction, right, because that's the easiest way to see these, I have 48 to 30. So it would look like this, 48 over 30. And the next one would be, well, it's equal to 8 over a number I don't know, right? This is what we're trying to figure out. So what I can do is figure out, like, how do I go from 48 to 8? What did I have to do? And you can even go the other way around. So like 8 times what equals 48? Because whatever that number is, it's the same as 48 divided by that number. So I know 8 times 6, if I know my math facts, is 48, right? Which means, so 8 times 6 is 48, which means 48 divided by 8 equals, divided by 6 equals 8. I don't know, I'm probably throwing you guys off right now. So whatever this number is, times 6 is going to equal 30. So 6 times what equals 30? That's one way you guys could do it. Let me write that out. 6 times what equals 30? And that's going to be 6 times 5, right? So that would be my answer. And then another way to check is just like if I multiply this across. So 6 times 6 equals this number, right? See how it adds up? The other way I could have done it is I could have divided if I wanted to. Because the opposite of multiplying is dividing, right? So I can also do 48 divided by what? Oh, that didn't work. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Divided by 6 equals 8, which means 30 divided by 6 equals 5, right? So that's my answer. The missing number is going to be 5, or the missing term. All right, so this one says find the missing values in the table below. There's a couple different ways we can do this. One is that we can try to figure out the pattern, like this times what equals this, and then I can just multiply that across to get it, right? That's how I'd solve for it. Or one thing you can do is see 2 times what equals 6. Well, I know 2 times 3 equals 6, right? And it means if I do times 3 here, I need to do times 3 here. So 12 times 3 is going to equal my number inside this box, which is 36, right? 12 times 3 is 36. All right, so that's one way to do it. But then I have the next one. How do I figure out this next box right here? So I'm going to multiply, and let me switch colors here. Let me go to green. So 2 times what equals this number? I'm not sure yet, right? But I have 12 times something equals 60. And if I have 12 times 5 that equals 60, that means 2 times 5 is going to be my bottom number. So 2 times 5 equals this number in here, which is 10, right? So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to figure out this pattern right off the bat. So 2 times what equals 12? If I just go across. So for every 2 apples, I have times 6, right? I have 12 grapes. So then 6 times 6 is going to be whatever my answer is, which is 36. And then I have something times 6 equals 60. So that something is going to be 10, right? 10 times 6 equals 60. So that's the other way of doing it. So you can figure out your pattern pretty quickly. That's another way of doing it. All right. That was Wednesday number 12. 13 says, what integer represents depositing $15 into your bank account? A deposit means it's an increase, so your money is going to be positive. So what number, or integer just means a number, right? So what number would you put? Number 14, it just says compare the numbers below using less than, greater than, greater than, or equal to. So remember absolute value, it always turns these numbers into positive numbers. So once they turn positive, which one's the bigger number? That's all you really need to figure out. Good luck. Last one for Wednesday says, Gabe buys a pack of 25 colored pencils for $25.50. What is the unit cost of one pencil? So it wants to know how much it costs for one pencil, right? So if I have money over pencils, that's my rate. And it gives me a rate, right? If I look at what information it gives me. So the first thing it says, it buys a pack of 25 pencils for $25.50, right? So let's fill in what we have. So the money is $25.50 and the colored pencils is 25, right? So it's asking us to figure out how much it is for, let me put this in green, unit cost of one pencil, right? So now I know I need to turn my pencils into 1. So how do I turn 25 into 1? What did I have to do? I'm just going to divide by 25, right? And if I divide this by 25, I need to divide this by 25, the top. And then I'll have my unit rate. So let me move over this number real quick. And you can either work it out the long way, or you can use a calculator. You know, this one doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult, so let's work it out the long way real quick. So I have $25.50. Let me see here. All right. So how many times can 25 go into 25? Well, that's going to be easy enough, right? I'm just going in there one time. And then I get 25. Which gives me 0, right? Okay. I should have just used a calculator. Next number I'm going to bring down is my 5. And now how many times can 25 go into 5? Well, that would be 0, right? I can raise my roof already. Oh, it's not a decimal point. So my decimal is going to go straight up. And then I could bring this next 0 down. Because I did times 0, right? It would stay the same. So now 25 times what equals 50? Well, 25 times 2. So my unit rate is $1.02 per one pencil, right? So that's what my unit rate is. Remember, unit rate always means one of these numbers is going to be 1. My unit cost of one pencil. I want to know how much it is for one pencil. So if I'm filling it in, this is dollars per one pencil, right? $1.02 for one pencil. That's how you do number 15. And that's it for today, guys. I don't think I'm gonna make a video for Thursday, but you guys can try your best and let me know where you're struggling so we can try to fix that for you guys. All right, have a good one.